The reason the book is called The Venice Experiment is because it truly was an experiment for us to see if we could up and leave and move to a foreign country and integrate, assimilate into society and become basically Venetians. And the experiment was a success, and we did. One of the reasons that I wrote this book was because years ago I read books like A Year in Provence and Under the Tuscan Sun, and those books were about people that had $500,000 that they could move to a foreign country, buy a farmhouse and spend another $500,000 renovating it. But that's not real, that's not us. I wanted to see if people like us could actually leave this country, move to someplace, live their dreams while telecommuting and make a go of it. Could we do it? And we did. We spent 13 months in Venice living our dream. I'm a computer programmer, and my job is done on a computer over the internet, and one day I realized that none of my customers were where I was. I had customers in Bermuda, I had customers in New York, Chicago, I was living in Florida, so since none of them were where I lived, it really didn't matter where I lived. I could just up and go and take my office with me. Once I realized that my office was at home, and home wasn't where my customers were, it didn't matter where my home was. So I took my internet phone, I took my computer, we up and left, and every day at 2 p.m. in Venice, which was 8 a.m. Eastern Time, I opened up my computer, put my headset on, and I was an American programmer for 8 hours. At 11 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I shut off the computer and just enjoyed Venice for the evening. We lived our dreams for 13 months. It's so easy. I never thought just how easy it was. There's a person who lives across the street from me. She's a customer service representative for a major box store. She does it at home. She could do the same thing. In fact, if you don't have that kind of a job, one of the things you could do is search out that kind of a job now, get that kind of job at home, and then move your home. Well, we chose Venice. One of the reasons we chose Venice was just because we're both in love with Venice, but also it was practical. In Venice, there's no cars. And because there's no cars, we sold both of our cars before we left, so we had no car payments, no car insurance, no gas, and no maintenance. That alone saved the cost of one of our salaries and made the trip possible. We have a large house in Florida, and what we did was we rented the house out furnished, and then we took that money and used it to rent a smaller apartment in Venice. Now granted, in cities like Venice, the apartments are going to be smaller. You're not going to have the luxuries that you have, but you're living in Venice, you're living in history, you're living in a museum. It's okay. You don't live inside in Venice, you live outside. So it worked just fine for us. I knew some Italian when I got there, and Debbie knew a little bit as well, but not enough to not enough to become part of society. What we did was every day for a few months when we first got there, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we went to an Italian class for foreigners in Venice. That enabled us to become part of the community. That way, when people had discussions with us, it wouldn't get past the weather. We were able to talk about feelings, emotions, and the things which really help you make the connection with other people. One day, I went to the market to buy mushrooms, and I looked around, I couldn't find mushrooms anywhere, and I said to one of the vendors, "Where can I find mushrooms?" He said, "There's no mushrooms now. Why would you want to buy mushrooms when the eggplant are in season? Look how beautiful they are. Take some of these, go home, make something with eggplant." Because they don't get things shipped in from around the world. They use whatever is fresh that day. So my advice is, if you can position yourself with the type of job that you can do this, by all means do it. Live your dreams. Don't wait for later. Do it now. Find a place that you want to go to. Investigate what it takes to get there. Once you decide that you're going, all of a sudden the obstacles start to go away. Then you're deciding how to get rid of the obstacles and not why you can't go. Make the decision to go, do it now, do your own experiment, and send me a postcard. The book is called The Venice Experiment, and it's available at local bookstores, Amazon, and the Kindle and Nook.